if I can push you in here without tearing anything up. Moment of silence.
That's gonna drive some people insane. But
It's sketchy, but tackling life's problems. What's going on, everybody? It's Tim, and it's a beautiful day in Waynesville. It's Monday. We're back on track. It's January, and you couldn't ask for a better day around here. We've been moving stuff around, cleaning up. Usually you start cleaning up around springtime, but I'll take it. So it's probably 40-something degrees. It's going to be a good week. We had to get Jennifer's Escalade in the garage to dry it out and warm it up. The good news is that everything seems to be okay with that, except the radio don't work. So if that's the only thing that happened with it raining through the sunroof all night, then I'll take it. So what we're doing today is pushing the old 68 back in. Push it in. It's lived in this garage most of the time that I've had it, but this is probably the favorite version that I've had of it. This truck started out rough. This is one of the... I bought it only because it was a 68 GMC, and took the pretty much did body off redo without taking the body off. It's got new floors on the outer, new rockers, inner and outer. I feel like I did a real good job of putting those on. There was no rocker at all. The bed was falling off of it. And then we got new carpet, new sills and seals. We got it tinted red, and it was slammed over the summer down on the ground. It's had a turbo LS aluminum block 5.3, and it's had a turbo LS 4.8, and they both blew up. Moment of silence. So now we are back to carburation and satisfaction. So we lifted it. I put square body spring hangers on the back because the original 68 GM spring hangers would not take square body springs, which is what those are. 6-inch lift built right in, no blocks yet. I did a shackle flip, homemade shackle flip. Since I was welding putting the shackle on, I flipped it, but it may be a little too tall because it's sitting high in the back compared to the front, but we'll figure all that out once we get things situated. So it's got a Super Duty 2005, 2006 Dana 60 in the front. Those are 8-inch coil springs. I made all the buckets. I cut everything out of cardboard, made it all myself. Boxed the original frame. It's got this huge 4-inch cross member in there. The frame's boxed. Steering box is plated. All that's good. Steering passes through. The only thing we could really use is a better steering column, but I can add that anytime. What we're going to tackle today is we got some parts in. We got a real track bar bolt instead of that one. We have a new pitman arm to start connecting, building our new steering. And we have a new adjustable track bar. We're going to start getting that stuff on. Last video I said I was going to find the ignition wire. I still haven't found that. We're going to run a Badlands 12,000 on the front with a very vintage J&R Products aluminum winch bumper. A friend of mine gave me that. So that's the thing. That's what we're doing. Push it back in. Try and decide on a bed floor. Can't really decide what I want to do on that. I don't know. Everything looks tacky. Everything you do there looks tacky. I don't know what else to say. Wood looks tacky. Diamond plate looks tacky. Flat metal looks tacky because it's not flat when you put it in there. It holds water when it rains. Honestly, I'm thinking about a thin piece of diamond plate and then expanded metal on the sides. I don't know. I see it's all tacky. I don't know what you do. Well, anyways, we got to get some stuff out. We got all kinds of stuff going on. I know it seems like we're dragging along, but we're working on everything. We got this trailer back in because I need that rear end. The third member's junk in it. It's gutted. We built this trailer. We decided to take the bed off of the 40 Chevy because the fenders, those are Dodge fenders, and I cut them. What I shouldn't have done was any of that, but we did. So that is a 40 Chevy bed. So we're not going to be stupid. I'm going to take that trailer apart, and that bed is going on that truck. Even if we don't run fenders, we'll find fenders. If you got a set of 1940 Chevy truck fenders, hit me up. Could probably even use 46, 47, 41. I just don't want to use Dodge fenders because they have those flutes in the back, and everybody knows they're Dodge fenders. So that's enough rambling. Let's get in here and get it going. All right, we got her cleaned out a little bit. Do all you can do. Basically, we got a 2-foot garage with a little bit of room on each side. 2-car garage, not a 2-foot garage. We have a 2-car garage with a little room on each side. About the same as all the rest of you got. Somebody said it looks bigger on camera, but it's not. I can't make it any bigger than it is. So we're going to get the old 8-lug thug pushed inside because we got some parts. And some of these parts are going on, hopefully for the final time. That's always good when you're assembling. So let's see if I can push her in here without tearing anything up. I want to put it up on the lift, so I got to get it directly in the middle. It's another great thing about boggers. Great leverage for pushing. If you got a project you got to push a lot, well, they're perfect for that. There we are. Beautiful. Put it on the lift, kid. All right, here we are on the front end of our 68 GMC, and this is the track bar ball joint. So I did try my ball joint installation tool mildly, and it didn't want to even get it going in there. So I thought to myself, we have this magnetic induction heater. So I'm going to give it a shot, expanding that hole right there. I don't know if it'll work, but we're going to give it a shot. So I guess you just pull the trigger and start expanding things. So let me find a good place to put you guys. See what happens. I'm not sure if I get something to beat with. Boy, oh boy. We're gonna have a trouble. We're gonna have to try to use the tool. That thing even hot? That didn't do enough to do anything. Need a torch on that. Didn't expand anything. You can see it shining that up. It's tight. It's a horrible design. Brass hammer, you still don't want to beat on it. Getting it to go in straight seems to be the hardest thing you'll ever do. She's going in straight. Something's happening. Let's try to use the tool. All right, I got the tool out. Mike Hill sent me this tool once. He watched me struggle to put some ball joints in. I think it was the C50. So I'm always on the edge of these tools not working with my stuff because I'm always got big 1-ton goofy stuff. So we've got it in there. Let's see what happens. happening. It was definitely going in, so this is about time I strip the nut out, strip the stud out, or something crazy. We'll go in little bursts. We'll try to burst it in there. I'll get back with you when I get it in there. All right, I've been using the C-clamp that old buddy Mike sent me, and she just broke through, so let's take a few extra hits. Boom. Oh yeah, buddy. Now we got a C-clamp that goes, we got a retaining clip that goes in there. That worked out good. Thank you, man. So let's keep on moving. Okay, I'm gonna try to go through a little bit of stuff here. So we have our tie rod ball joint in. Well, it's not a tie rod ball joint. We have our track bar attachment point, which looks like a ball joint installed. We have our adjustable track bar here. We bought new. Got our nut. We got an impact. So our steering's on the left. We got crossover steering up there. We're going to change that pitman arm. We're going to take this off. We're going to buy a bung, right-hand thread bung. And then up there, we're going to buy, we have this. I accidentally bought right-hand thread instead of left-hand thread, but I can show you what we're going to be doing. And once we get this track bar in, it's all going to make perfect sense. So hopefully my track bar bracket up there, I bought an actual Ford track bar bracket bolt off eBay for like 30 bucks. And it's the exact same size as the bolt that I put in. So we'll see what happens. Here we go. All right, so there's a lot going on right now. I've just been processing it all. And somebody told me online that this might be the only original frame Super Duty 67 to 72 Chevy or GMC on the planet. And there's probably a reason for that. I think we just figured it out. And I don't know. I think we'll be okay. I mean, there's other options. We'll figure it out. I didn't come this far to give up, but sometimes in the process of building stuff, you hit that oh shit moment, and that's where we're at right now. So I did spend some time getting that ball joint installed for the track bar. Got that in. Got the track bar bolted in up top. And then I took the stock adjuster off of the lower passenger side tie rod. And then all I got to do is buy a bung for that. Right hand, 14, I think, or whatever, I forget. Bung, that'll screw on there, weld into pipe. So this is the first look of steering. First look. So typically when you build trucks with track bars specifically, I'm talking about, you want your track bar to be similar to your angle of your steering. And then as your suspension goes up and down, those things will cycle in parallel unison in a perfect world. So what's going on this truck is this truck is small compared to a new truck. New trucks have big, wide, square frames, longer front ends, longer drive shafts. This truck is just a smaller truck. So what we had to do first with the fenders on it was find wheelbase. Don't ever build a truck and mess up the wheelbase. You might as well just scrap it if you mess up the wheelbase. So first things first, we got our wheelbase dead right and our fender the way we like it. So that dictates where it goes. That dictates where, unless you build super long arms, and I'm just not an advanced shop, I'm just trying to make my daily driver cool. I'm trying to make a cool truck into a daily driver. So we didn't really have the options of super long arms and plasma tables and everything. So my plan was to build it according to stock trailing arms, and then use stock lift style Ford available stuff. So we got our radius arms lowered, and we got 8-inch springs in the front. So what happens on those trucks that are longer is this steering box is out farther, probably internal of that super wide frame. I'm pretty sure they're all internal now. They're not hanging out like this. And then that track bar, mine's angled back. Like my track bar is laid back. It should be kicked out. That bolt shouldn't be at an angle. It should be out straight. And this steering should be back out there, farther out. What happens on a C-Series truck like this is that steering box is too close to the firewall. I'm just now figuring out. So first look, we got our track bar in, and then we got our steering. That's just a mocked up piece of pipe slid over the threads of the steering, and it does clear that. And those two will never touch because that contact point can't shrink. That is what it is. But where I'm worried is down through there is that steering crossover may hit the track bar. There's clearance. I mean, there's more clearance than there looks. And then when I build this bar here, I could probably have a bend in it. I'll get my weld-in bungs with jam nuts, and I'll get that bend in it, and I'll get those jam nuts super tight to where that bend arches out a little bit, and I think we'll be all right. I've figured out I need 28. I'm going to get 28-inch limiting straps so I can bolt them here, and then I'm going to trim the lower sway bar bracket, flatten it off, and drill a hole in the side of it. We have been doing great progress. I've got a Rock Auto cart for all the brakes, the brake calipers, brake pads. We got to finish drilling them out. I got to order 100 more drill bits to drill those out. One thing I was going to get to tonight, I haven't got to it yet, was I got this cheap Amazon, let's hope it works, kit for the power steering. That's what we're going to put on that. So everything should be good with that. Finish that line. But that's it. That's the first look, man. That's what happens when you build custom stuff. So I think we'll be all right. I'm not saying it's not going to work. But that steering box, if I would have known this, next time I know this, we're going to have to look. It's going to be up into the core support mount and everything. These frames are small. I'd say I'm going to have to go back and take the cab off and box the frame just to make it as rigid as can be. But we're doing good. We're doing good. Everything's moving. She ain't death wobbled yet, so I'm going to keep on working. What's going on, everybody? We're back. It's, what day is it? It's Tuesday. We're working on the 08 lug thug. Don't mind this chain. The chain is to keep the front end from drooping all the way down. I don't have limiting straps, but I will. So what we're going to work on here real quick is finish this power steering line. So I ordered this kit online, and they sent me this PTFE. It's a little bit different than standard braided. Braided, you cut it, slide the nut over. This, you actually slide the nut over, open the braids up, and then this aluminum thing is the little compression sleeve that goes on it. And then we're going to put a little lube in there, and then put that fitting in there, tighten it down. And then I bought this kit online because I have a two different style. I have a newer gearbox than I do a power steering pump. And you can buy these kits, and they come with various little adapters, and it should get you through. It should have the two sizes for the pump, the two sizes for the gearbox, and we found our size right here. I know it's a flare fitting and they don't need Teflon tape, but it does not hurt. So I'm going to throw a little bit on here just because I'm right here. We're going to throw this adapter in the back, finish up our line. Then we're going to move to something else. I got the lift arms under the truck so we can start getting it up in the air. We're getting down to brakes, drive shafts, and brake lines. Trying to get that list down as low as we can get it. Because this is the year I'm going to drive this truck. So this goes in the back of the pump. You're not going to be able to see it. You're just going to take my word for it. Pump. Screw it in. It's a flare fitting. The tape's just to try to, if anything sneaks by. Maybe the tape will stop it. There it goes. I've got a 3/4 socket here. Small little ratchet. All right. We got that on. We're just gonna put a little oil in there to promote the joining of the two. Slide that down. Slide this up. A little oil on those threads won't hurt nobody. We're getting there. All right, one side came pre-made, the other side I just made. So hopefully everything's good to go. There's O-rings in there, so don't hurt to lube those guys up a little bit. Okay, get it on there without kinking. I like it. I like it. We'll probably put something over. Let me show you here. Here's what we did there. We got adapters. This box has O-ring style fittings, and that pump has flare style fittings. And let me show you the difference here. In case you don't know what I'm talking about and you ever run into this. I did years ago, and I didn't know what to do. So this is a flare fitting. 80 and back. This is an O-ring fitting. What we call metric, 87 and up. So basically, I got these in the box. Then I got one of these in the back of the pump. One's a pressure. There's no hydro boost here. One's a pressure, one's a return. I like the way they lay. I'll do something, dress them up a little bit. I might put a clamp on there together. We'll see. We'll see what we got. I don't know. All right, well, everything but the coolant. And we got a radiator ready to go in over there with dual fans. So once the core support comes in any day now, they're going to call me any day. I already got my core support mounting kit. And then I'm going to get a brand new 68 GMC core support. Then we're going to hang our fenders on it, put new headlights in it. This is going to be nice. It's going to be real nice. All the rest of the body bushings in the cab are already been replaced. We have a fuel line running to the back. We have a brake line running to the back. We just got to do 2 brake lines to the front. Finish working on that front axle. It needs a lot of work. Follow up on my clearance issues right here. They make this offset to where it'll kick back here and it'll get it away from there. So that'll be nice. These brake lines, I don't think they're going to work. I'll save those. Those are Chevy brake lines. Save those, hang them up on the wall. We got the lift under it. It's sketchy, but let's get it up in the air. All right, we got the 8-lug thug up in the air, so if it falls and kills me, you'll see it. She'll edit it, leave it in there. I got jack stands. I always use my tripods. So here's where we're at underneath here. So you can start to see some of the fab work we did. Here's the brackets for the rear links. We got how many bolts? 3. It's hard to see. 3 bolts across the top. Heavy gussets, 1/4 inch, welded all around. And then we upgraded the bolts, drilled out the bushings. It's mounted as firmly as I can mount it without welding it directly to the frame. We have the cross member built into the mounts for the front control arms. And which leads us to this. If you look right beside my head, this is a fuel line. If you look beside my head, that angle iron that I used up underneath, it sure works good. And you can't see it, so it doesn't matter how it looks. But if you see right here, I got to paint that. You see the exhaust runs right into it. So I need to take plasma cutter, put me some arches in there on each side. Here's the look from behind. Whoa, that's just me closer. All right, so here is where we're going to work on drive shafts and what we got. So 350 motor is moved forward a little bit because these firewalls are deep, but they're tight. They got a big, huge lip that comes out. You can only get your distributor out. So I cheated the motor forward a little bit. I have a turbo 350 in there for ease of use and simplicity. We don't have a super amount of horsepower yet, just a stock small block. We will get there. We will upgrade as we go. The goal is to drive them, not store them. So what we got going on here, I'm leaning on a 14-bolt Chevy. I found this U-joint on my bench, and one time I bought a combination U-joint, half to 1350, and there's a few different 1350s, but hold on. All right, I'm back. The heater kicked on. So here's our 14-bolt Chevy, 1350 joint. There's a few different sizes. Mainly it's the spread, and I've already put this one in there. And this big side, that's proper for my rear end. All right, up here at the 205. Now this came out of a Ford half-ton, mid-70s. When they had divorce case, you Ford guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. So they did some weird things. The input, which is this drive shaft, I got it off Dewey, and Dewey gave me the drive shaft. It's got a small yoke on the intake there, coming off of the Ford, whatever transmission was in that truck. And it's this, small size. And then on the front, we have small size, but bigger spread. See that? If you put that on there, it's bigger spread. And then on the back, it was weird again. So on the back, the big caps is the right spread, but they won't go in. The little caps are the right caps, but the wrong spread. So when I did Blake's truck, I had A1 drive shaft. There's several drive shaft companies. I used A1 on his truck and was more than delighted with the service they gave me. So what I need to do is, now that I got this is a measuring device. I call them when I'm ready. When I got that credit card loaded up with some cash, I don't have a credit card. When I got that bank card loaded up with some cash, I'm gonna call A1. I'm gonna say, look, buddy, I need a 14-bolt Chevy 1350 at the back. I'm gonna take notes. Here's my spread. And then up here, whatever that cap is, maybe that's a 1310. Up there, make me a drive shaft for the back with a slip in it. Like that. Brand new. I imagine that'll be 400, 500. It's not very long though. So they'll send me that brand new, wrapped up in a tube. And then up here, what's going to happen is a Jags or a Summit Turbo 350, 1350 slip-in yoke. I just got to buy that. That's like $150. And then when that comes, when I got it in my hand, I'll know which one of these is, and I may just order that drive shaft from him too, which is only going to be 12 inches long. And then what'll happen is we'll get it over here and we'll slide it in and then put it in. That'll be its slip. It'll slip out of the back of the transmission. There won't be no slip collar on that drive shaft. So that'll take care. I got to have those two to drive it. I don't have to have the front to drive it, but let me show you something here that worked out in my favor. Let me get a tripod. There's some glare, but here's the front differential, and here's the output for the front on the 205. It's the MP205. So this is the stock drive shaft that came with the front end when I bought it. The U-joints are junky, but it's going to work out perfect as far as length. Could come forward about an inch. I need to check that at compression, but I want this drive shaft to bolt in there without modifications. I don't want to have to get one stretched. I want to say, hey, I got a stock drive shaft in the front of that. I need another one, and then there it is. So let me see how much slip we got. That'll work. All right, so they make a flange. When I say they, I don't have any dealers. I mean the internet. You look it up, 205, MP 205 front, or wherever you want. You put a flange on. You put a flange on all three of them if you want to run that style drive shaft, which don't hurt anything. Getting a little cold or something. So I'm going to take this off, put that flange on, and then a stock drive shaft will fit. I have to change the front gears to match the rear gears. The rear has 456 gears in it, which is a lot, but it's got a turbo 350, no overdrive, so you got to keep that in mind. But I want to run a bigger tire. I want to run like a 38-inch tire on this, which would be fine. It won't hunt for gears. It'll be right in its power. So everything should work out. So that's what we're down to. I've been spending a lot of money on this guy. So I just need to figure it out and get some money together for drive shafts, stuff like that. The brake lines that stuff's really cheap. So we'll be back.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of This Old House. You guys remember that show. I know you do. We all watched it. I love a good home renovation project, so I'm sharing it with you guys. I told you this winter while it's cold out and I'm not in the shop, I'm going to do as much as I can to revamp our house. We've been here for 4 years. Well, we've been living here for 4 years, and we've done some small things, but I really have put off the major projects. This is one of them. You've seen both Wyatt's and Sammy's bedrooms redone. Our bedroom was always on the last point of my list because, you know, you always want to take care of everything else first. So I literally have not done anything in this room since we've been living here for 4 years. So we have an extremely large bedroom, which is awesome, and I love it and I appreciate it. But I can only really do half at a time. So this is the first half. I'm going to throw some pictures in here for you guys to see what I started with. It's ugly. I'm not going to lie to you. This place was built in the 60s, and whoever put that paneling up whenever this addition was built, it's been there ever since. So I pulled down the old ugly brown paneling that was on this wall, and we've replaced it with some beadboard because I don't want to deal with drywall in our bedroom. So I'm going to paint that, but I also primed all of the walls. I primed and have already painted the ceiling white. It looks so much better. Oh my gosh, we had that big smoke out last year when our furnace blew up, so everything had like this black soot on it. It was just like so overwhelming because it's everywhere. So just to see the difference, it's like a breath of fresh air. So I'm so excited. I went to Home Depot and got some paint today. They're starting to know me by name down there. So we're gonna put one color on 3 of the main walls and then a different color on the one big main wall, which is going to be a different color than what we're putting on here. So we're going to start with these 2 walls. I've already done the ceiling. I'm not going to do that wall yet because I still have more paneling to remove on the other half of the room. So once this paint dries, I have to remove everything that's on that side of the room to this side of the room so that I can get all the painting down over there. And then the fun begins. I'm going to start doing some thrifting, getting some sweet decorations and designing everything. I'm real excited for this bedroom. I warned Tim, I said, you're going to think that it's bold, you're going to think that it's feminine, but when I'm finished with it and everything's said and done and all the accessories are there, you're going to say, dang, this looks so good. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know that since I was a teenager that I have actually made my bedroom like I want it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm making the bedroom like I want it. I try to make the rest of the house like neutral because it's all boys and I don't want it to be too feminine for them, but this is our bedroom. This is like my space, okay? I work out in here. All my workout equipment goes in here. Obviously, this is where we sleep. So I'm just doing it, man. I'm gonna give it the Jen vibe. This is gonna be the Jen vibe part of the house for sure. So let's get to work. I got some trimming to do and then we get to put some color on the walls. All right, I cracked open that paint can. I couldn't resist. My phone was charging, so I wanted to get a little bit of paint on the wall. So it's gonna look really dark, I know that. But with this wall, I'll use bright accents and things that will tone down the darkness. And on the bright wall, I'll use dark accents that will tone down the brightness. So it will all balance out and it will look really good whenever it's all said and done. So nobody freak out that it's so dark, okay? I like it. It's gonna look good. Let's get to work. All right, I got this little roller because I feel like it does better coverage, but I need that brush also because like in between this beam and the wall, there's a big crack. So I had to fill in that white spot, but I like the finish of the little mini trim roller better. It covers better. I think it makes the job go a little faster with a trim roller. Yes, dear.
You know where a pair of scissors at?
Come in here and say hello to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Sammy is home from school right now, and he just came in and asked me for a pair of scissors. So I'm gonna go see what we're up to with the scissors real quick. But we're gonna make this happen pretty quickly. I'm just doing these 2 walls for today, so it will happen fast once I get the roller out. I'm like a magic man. Okay, we're safe. He was just trying to cut some construction paper, which is totally allowed, but whenever they come and randomly ask for scissors, you gotta figure out what it's for. So, this is my life. This is what it's like. You know, I get interrupted every few minutes by the dogs or the kids or the whatever is going on around the house, so it just, we'll get it knocked out once we get going. Hi, sweetie.
You need help? Yeah, I can't get this paint. Sorry.
See what I tell you, I ain't making it up when I say I'm busy all the time. That was another interruption for a need, which is normal. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just making you guys aware of what it's like around here. He needed some cereal, so I had to get some cereal. I love cereal. It's one of my favorite things. Do you guys like cereal? What's your favorite kind? I like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I might move this camera so we can have a little chat while I'm painting. I don't know if you can hear me or not with my back turned towards you. But next week is when tickets for Hot Rod Power Tour go on sale. So I've had a couple of my friends. One I know for sure is going, and if you ain't watching him, you need to. Waylon Wire's Old Iron. Look him up. He is a great guy, super fun. He's got some cool stuff. We met him in person on Power Tour last year. I told him if he wants to leave out of here the Sunday before Power Tour, when we do, he's welcome to. So he may do that. And then we've got another friend that reached out to me today, wanted to take a Route 66 trip. And I said, well, we're already going on part of it. We can't complete the whole thing. And he wants to complete the whole thing. So I know there's several people that are continuing on after Tulsa, which we just can't do. So that's sucky, but hopefully he'll join us for the Power Tour part, and you know, hopefully we'll have some people he can connect with to continue on and finish out the whole route. That'll be real cool. He's done it before, but he wants to do it with some cool people. So if you're going on the Power Tour and you're continuing on, reach out to me. I got a real good friend that's wanting to continue on. He also is having major surgery on Monday, so keep him in your thoughts. We'll be thinking of you, buddy, and making sure that we check in that you're doing good. So let's get back to painting. Some people hate to paint, but I love to paint. I love the transformation that it brings. It's kind of therapeutic, gives you a chance to really think about all kinds of different stuff if you're uninterrupted, or if you are interrupted. So, do you like painting? I like it. I know this is not the most entertaining thing, but like, I feel like we just got to show you what we do and what we got going on. So this is what I've got going on. Tim's been working hard on the heater in the C50. I'm so excited. After all this time, we're going to have heat in that thing. So we can drive it now whenever we want. I'm real pumped about that. So whoever gave him that heater to put in there, thank you. All right, let's get our big roller out. When I was about 15, I talked my grandma to come get me whenever my mom was at work and take me to the store and get me some paint for my bedroom. And when my mom got home, I had painted my whole bedroom lime green. She didn't have any input, and I just took the bull by the horns and did it. So I've been painting my whole life. If I feel like I want to change, I will change it. The fact that I haven't really done anything with this room in 4 years is insane, but life's crazy. We're busy doing all kinds of things, so it's cold out, and this is what I'm doing. I'm finally getting to it, which is what we all do, I guess, is eventually get to the projects that we put off. I'm gonna pour some more paint, and we'll just get this laid on. Get out, Wanda.
Get out.
You're gonna get in the wet paint, girlfriend. Get. You gotta get out of my room. Go on. Go on, girl.
Get.
Go on, go out there. Go in the living room.
Go.
Watch yourself too, sir. Thank you. What are you doing? I want to talk about this because you guys are probably wondering how the heck this hole got in the wall, what it is. And I'm going to be honest, it looks like someone punched the wall. I couldn't tell you who, but this place was not always a house. We've turned it into a house, and who knows? People were in and out of here. There's pool tables out here. It was clubhouse for the campground. So I don't know how this hole got punched in the wall, but it's there, and I'm not a drywaller, so we're going to do what I do best and just pretend like it's not there, paint our wall, and I'll hang a mirror or a picture or something that will cover this that no one will ever know it's there except for everybody that ever watches this. So don't look at the hole. I just realized it was even there and probably thought, well, they think we're crazy. What?
So everyone, I'm talking about to people. So everyone, so at first, when I found out this hole before it was there, it looks like somebody punched. It looks like somebody.
It's been there since we lived here.
No, hold on. I gotta tell something. And at first, it looked like it was sledgehammered because you know there's a massive hole, right, Mom?
Right.
No one yet knew.
Ta-da!
And
That's gonna drive some people insane, but I really just don't care. I'll hang a picture over it. I'm not taking the time to fix it right now.
And yeah, so everyone, this is what my mom done so far.
I also want to eventually tear this wall out and make our closet bigger, so that's another reason I just don't care that it's there. But
Yeah.
thought we should talk about that.
So
What? Okay, that's it. That's our first coat. I'll give you a little pan around the room. We've had an air show while I was painting a little bit. Please don't do that to the wall, please. I like it a lot. I think it looks really good. I love the color. I'm always nervous whenever I pick out colors for the house because I might love it in the store and then when I get it on the wall, I might not like it. That's happened in our kitchen 3 times in a row now. I'm still not happy with the color in the kitchen. I've painted it 3 times. So Tim can't wait to see me do that again. So we will catch up with you guys on, what is today, Wednesday? So you'll see this tomorrow on Thursday. We'll catch up with you on Monday with the all new video, and who knows what we're getting into this weekend. But when I'm finished here, I'll give you a little look around once the tape's pulled off and we'll see how it looks together. Thanks for your help, Sammy.
you're welcome.
Tell them to like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Bye, guys.
All right, that's it. The tape is down. I think it looks really good. You can't really tell the color that it is from this camera as I'm looking at it, filming it. I don't really know how to explain it to you. It's like an emerald. It looks different on this camera than it does in real life. So I don't know. I also wanted a satin finish, but they were out of that. So I had to get semi-gloss. I'm okay with it. I don't necessarily love all the glares, but I'm okay with it. It's fine. It's painted. It looks way better. Now I gotta clean up my mess. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you guys so much. Have a great weekend.
All right, it's another day. It's another truck. Tackling life's problems. So the 8-lug thug is what we've been showing you, and we're kind of just waiting on stuff. Waiting on the ability to buy the parts we need, and waiting on the parts that we've bought. We're waiting on a core support to come in. That'll really button up the front end. We got new bushing kit, core support mount. And then we have the old fenders going back on. That'll be fun. Taking those off that core support. Core support's rotting down at the bottom. So new core support. Then we're going to put some new headlights in it. Take that wiring out, which all worked. The headlights worked. We're just going to put new bulbs in it and stuff. So we're waiting on that. And then we're down to like brakes and drive shafts. One thing I'll probably do here after a while when it gets dark is clean up the rear end. There's some slag, there's some old brackets and stuff. And I don't have the rear shocks yet, but I should be able to come up with a shock around here somewhere to build rear shock mounts. There's no shock mounts because it was two-wheel drive slammed. And then that axle was also two-wheel drive slammed. And the shock mounts were built into the part that slammed it. So we're going to move on over to this guy. And a lot of people who are new to the channel don't usually get to see this guy because he just does his own thing, sits in the corner, waits his turn to pull a load. What we got sitting here is a 1969 C50. We got this from Amish country out in Indiana. At one point in time, it would have had probably 18 to 20 foot grain bed on it. It had a big block in it. When I got it, we paid $1,000 for the green. Running, we drove it up on a 40-foot trailer, came home, $1,000. And then what's underneath is a 97 Dodge I bought off a friend of mine, Chip Young. He had some little girls, and he got him a newer truck. Made everything more comfortable. So the 97 Dodge, two-door, extended cab, flatbed that he'd had forever. He made a hard, tough decision that all of us have had to make. And he had it for sale, and me and him worked a deal. I drove that truck for a little while. It was extend cab, 8-foot bed. Clutch started going out just because it was in there forever, and I was pulling firewood with it. And so that gave me an opportunity to be like, hey, I'm going to take it apart, put a new clutch in it, fix some oil leaks, put this body on it. And that's what we did. We've been all over. This truck's been to Florida. This truck has been damn near all the way to Iowa. Before Chip had it, supposedly hauled campers across the United States. So, you know, that's a hard-working gig. But anyways, we've used it, abused it, and it's treated us well. And one thing it's never had the whole time that we've had it is a freaking heater. And that's my fault because I had visions of grandeur. And during the build, I said, well, we're just going to put vintage air in it. And my plan was to use the Cummins AC pump and then build off from there back and build me an AC system with a condenser. Haven't done that. We didn't move the motor in this truck back any, which kept us tight up front. There's no fan on it at all. Never has been. And then there's no room for a condenser. So we just tough out the no AC problem. But the no heater sucks. And even in Ohio, you need to have defrost and AC. And that leads us to this guy. So excuse me for not remembering, but a guy at our car show walked up and handed me this. And he says this is a heating unit. It says Spall right on it. He said this would be like the heating unit off of vintage air. So it's got 3/4 hookups on it. Right there's one. Right there's the other. And this has a gate valve. On, off. That'll basically keep the hot air from entering the cab. Maybe. I don't know if that'll work or not. But there's no hot air entering the cab now other than what's in my head. So we got this with the hookups here. And this has 2 blowers for the bottom. And then it's got some defrost. And when I built this truck, I took the heater lines that are hard 3/4 and I ran them to this radiator back here. So we never have any problems with the truck getting hot because it has a large radiator. I'm an Express Chevy van, 8.1 style van, radiator up front. And I use that because they have a cap. Most don't. And then I put this back here. And then my 3/4 inch lines run back to here. So let me get this open. All right, so here's my lines. And then what we're going to do is here's the wire for the old heater core, or the blower motor, I should say. And right in that area is where we're going to go through with 2 holes and grommets and 3/4 inch hose. And then I have these fittings that I picked up at a swap meet that are 3/4, 3/4. So we're going to bring those outside right by the hard line. We'll connect these on. The only downfall to this is I had to take the liner out of the glove box. So this truck has a huge hump in it. You see where all that kill mat is, that huge hump? A regular C10 don't have that hump. And you can sneak this up in there, but I can't. So I'm gonna have to sneak it up in here and build a bracket to fit it in there. And it's just gonna be behind that, which we didn't have much in the glove box anyway. And I got a mount in between the seats for Milwaukee cooler, which we don't ever use as a cooler. So we'll just use that as our glove box for our registration and our small. We don't need tools. We got boxes on the side, so there shouldn't be any tools inside. We should just have them all out here. And that's it, folks. That's what we're doing. So let's get at it. Let's try to get this mounted up in there. And for the first time of owning this truck, it'll have heat. We'll show you more about it. I don't know if I'll get it done in this episode, but I'm going to get it started. All right, first things first. I got my 3/4 T's down there, my T-millers. Got those hose clamped on. So then I'll just have hoses that come up and in, up and in. It won't look the greatest, but I don't really pop the hood anyway. We're going to clean some stuff up. The wiring kind of got out of control. We kept adding stuff. We got to put some positive terminals in where we don't have all that stuff on the battery. It's kind of hillbilly. But anyways, that's where we're at, man. We're just keeping on doing stuff. So now I can figure out how to mount it inside. That's probably going to be the hardest part, because it doesn't have a conventional mount. It's got 2 studs up in there, and they don't really align with anything. So there's defrost duct right there. And if I want any chance of having defrost, because it goes from this weird oval to a circle. So if I want any kind of defrost, this is going to have to kind of sneak around and do something here, which I'm going to run out of room. So we need to try to get this mounted as far back as possible. I don't know. There's really no good way to mount it. What we have for wiring is this kit comes with it. This is basically a little wiring harness that plugs into the side down here. And this controls defrost or foot. So basically, just I guess pull it in and out. And then it has this cord here. And then it has a little black and a red there, which I imagine just needs like a fused power, ignition fused power. Some of this wiring's chewed up. I'll have to go through there and look at that. This is a used kit. Hopefully I don't do all this work and it doesn't work. I didn't know it had a switch with it when I bought it, but it does. It has that switch, and it has basically this wiring harness that goes to it. We'll figure it out one way or another. All right, it went so quick I didn't get a chance to film it, but we got a little bracket made in there. Just got it self-tapered. I didn't want to take that panel off outside because of the, I just didn't want to. I use self-tappers for now. When it comes loose, I'll change it. So what I think will be happening is, so now we get a defrost. We can run that guy up through there. And then this one will probably be best just to turn into there. I know that sucks, but it's probably the best. Just make that happen right there. Run this one long over to my side. And then underneath, there's a vent there. There's a vent way over in the corner. Keep Jennifer's feet warm, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So for some reason in the box there was 2 of these. I don't know if one of them's bad or not. But I went ahead and picked up a simple medium, low, off, high. So we need to drill a hole and install that. And then we have this wiring harness here, which is just basically your 3 speeds, a ground, and a hot. We'll run the hot right to the switch. So this plugs in here like this. Then we'll hide that up through there. We'll run that over. We'll install a switch right here somewhere. Probably right here. Drill a hole. We'll have, actually we will probably have 2 holes. One for the defrost and then one for the controls. Also somewhere, I don't know what I did with it. I thought, here it is. There's also this, which is a big choke cable, which runs this valve down here. I don't know if I'll install that. We'll see. We'll see if we need that or not. Might just be able to reach over there and do it by hand. So basically we just need pieces of 3/4 hose to go here. See if you can see the 2 hose connections. So I just need to drill the holes outside, run the hoses in, start connecting them up. All right, let's go over what's going on. Got the dirty face. I always got the dirty face because I'm always working on junk. Here's what we got. These are 5/8 hard lines. I thought they were 3/4. They're 5/8 hard lines that come off the motor. I tapped into the one at the top. Hopefully that's the right one. Those 2 may be crossed. We don't know. But anyways, it'll provide coolant through. And just the only way I say they're crossed is because it has that gate valve. So we want the supply on that, which I think is how I got it. Well, anyways, just more hose clamps, simple 5/8 wire. I did grommets through the license plates instead of damaging the body further. Inside, we lost our glove box capabilities, but we have a heater. The reason I had to get rid of the glove box is because there's a huge hump in these trucks for the motor setback because they're short hood. So we got a bracket, simple bracket in there, and these are a defrost. They're not hooked up yet because we just got it done. But I did it all in one day, and I just went and got the hoses. Right here is my simple switch, high, medium, low. I use the stock power for the stock heater. It comes out of a fuse. This truck still has the original fuses in it. I've never changed a glass fuse in this truck since I've built it, to be honest with you. That's pretty wild. So it should be like the factory system. The glove box shuts. Maybe. Yep, glove box shuts. And we will route these better, but we're going to take it for a test drive and see if it works. I still have the gate valve I haven't installed, and that goes at the bottom. That just shuts it on or off, depending, you know. We probably want that off in the summer, so we're going to keep on. We'll probably install this, and then we also have our positioning valve, foot or dash. Yeah, so we're not done, but we're going to go see if it works. You know how it goes. Let's get it good enough to go test. So that's what we're going to do. We'll take her for a drive. This truck has never had any heat in it since factory, I guess. The old here's some weird knowledge about this truck. When we got it, it had a 427 tall deck in it, but factory, it came with a 350 in it. So somewhere along the line, somebody did some major work. Gosh, the windshield is filthy in this thing. Something's living in it. Look at all the stuff that's blowing out. It's already blowing heat. So I don't have that micro switch hooked up. So it's blowing, it's coming out of the defrost, which is okay. Actually, it's coming out of everything, which is also okay. Man, I wish I could remember the name of the guy who gave this to me. Let's turn it down, then we get going. It's the time of the day around here. Brett Tree Company. Road is busy. Here's the Raptor. Maybe that's Cletus's. That might be worth $150,000. Alright, I gotta talk loud because it's loud in here. Went around the block. We're only up to 140 degrees. It's putting out heat, so that's a big deal. Jennifer will want to ride in it now. This truck kind of just sat around because of the fact that it had no heat in it, and no one wanted to ride in it. But now it's got heat in it, and since it's only at 140 degrees, it's putting out decent heat. It defrosts the window and keep you from freezing to death. Got that Cadillac leather. Third row, baby. Us back home. That's the big deal. I know it took me a couple hours. I didn't really realize how easy it would be. That's the way it goes most of the time. You don't realize how easy something is. And then when you're done, you got like this great sense of satisfaction because you did something that you didn't know you could do. That's the fun part. All right, we're back home. We'll catch you in a minute.